Non-duality explained. Is it obscure? It kind of sounds like it when you hear people talking about it. So here's the number one most important thing to understand about non-duality and non-duality teachers and non-duality teachings is that there is the actual non-dual experience. And then there's all the explanations about it. But you got to understand that you're either fully in the experience or you're not. When you're fully in the experience, there's nothing obscure about it at all. Makes total sense because it's so easy. When you're not there and you try to explain it or you listen to something about it, then it sounds very obscure. And the reason that I like to use to explain that is that if you had even the slightest idea what enlightenment was, you'd be there, because it's finding yourself. Once you locate yourself, then you're just never lost. Because the thing that causes us to get lost in the first place is kind of like a break in the natural consciousness that you were born with. It's a break almost in the human continuum. It's because you were taught wrong. You were taught to make life be difficult when everything's really quite simple. We're born, and the natural human experience would be to have elders and a society that teaches you how to solidly find yourself as you grow, so that you come into yourself naturally as part of the growing process. And then you spend your whole adult life as an awake, contributing human being. Instead, we're taught to focus on objects. I mean, even as little kids, we're just given toys to entertain ourselves, right? Instead of being entertained by being constantly with people who are teaching us how to do things and how to locate ourselves. And imagine if you had grown up with all the people that around you as fully awake human beings. Just naturally, you would flow into that. So once you locate it, you've just simply become normal, is all that's happened. So you can either be normal and it totally makes sense, or you're not there. No matter how fabulous of a spiritual experience you've had, if it's not absolutely permanent, if there's any way it can go away, then that's not it. And so we would really, really benefit from people who don't know what they're talking about to stop talking about non-duality. Because it's like, I mean, that's the majority of everybody, right? And everybody's explaining it and talking about it and blah, 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 until we're just totally crazy. And that's why non-duality sounds so obscure. It's because you're trying to find something so simple that it can't be explained. You're trying to find, who am I? Who are you? Obviously, you're you, right? Now, there's another little problem that happens in non-dual studies. Actually, it's a big, huge, humongous problem. And that is the context that human beings have had for like the past, the context, rewind. That's the context that civilized human beings have had for like 4,000 years. We've lived in this totally divided world where almost everybody is broken. And so someone who becomes unbroken seems like a very unusual person. So we've been living in this context that non-duality, the non-dual state, is hard to find, and that only the most rarefied, fabulous person can find it, like, Buddha, and all these people we sing songs about. So non-duality itself is not obscure. If you're hearing anybody talking about it and it sounds obscure, it's because of one of several reasons. One, the person talking about it has no idea what they're talking about. They've just read about it in books. Maybe they've spent 30 years studying the most obscure texts ever written. But if it sounds obscure, it's because they don't know what they're talking about. Or two, maybe they have actually reached the non-dual state, but they're still coming from this context of the broken society, and they haven't had the opportunity to go into a totally new worldview where we understand that human beings are just naturally meant to be awake like this. So either of these kinds of teachings will sound very obscure. Now, probably what I'm talking about sounding a little obscure to you too. So the most important thing to understand is that we are talking about the simplest, most natural state that you can possibly be in. I mean, it's called dropping the false face, right? The false face drops. There's the true, real human being right there. That's what we're looking for. So whenever you listen to a non-dual teacher, myself included, if it sounds obscure, just kind of ignore that part. But if there's little bits of it that's starting to, oh yeah, feel, I mean, when it's truth, you can kind of just know it, right? So when you hear someone who's stumbled accidentally on a good way to talk about it, then listen to that. Listen to the part that is not obscure, because that's what's going to wake you up.